Yo, what's up guys, Dezo here, and today we're going to be talking about Melisandre, where she might go in Season 7, and what she might do. So, seeing that Melisandre has some kind of firepower, she will probably have a big role in the war with the White Walkers. In Season 6, Episode 10, she tells Jon,
"I've been ready to die for many years. If the Lord was done with me, so be it, but he's not. You've seen the Night King, Jon Snow. You know the Great War is still to come. You know the army of the dead will be upon us soon. And you know I can help you win that war."
Back in Season 2 and Clash of Kings, Melisandre didn't go to the Battle of Blackwater with Stannis, so we don't know what would happen when there's fire all around and what she can actually do with it. But she does claim that she could have saved the men in Blackwater Bay if she was there.
Was it me you fought on Blackwater Bay? Did I set your ships ablaze? I wasn't there when the wildfire killed our men by the thousands. I could have saved those men. You would have taken the city, Stannis would now sit upon his rightful throne, and you would stand beside him. But I wasn't there, because you convinced your king to leave me behind.
So pretty much the only argument against her having these powers is that she's just lying to make herself seem cooler than she really is, basically. But that's probably not the case, because when Davos calls her out on lying, you can tell she was really offended and angry when she was accused of lying, and that she always tries telling the truth as best she can.
You told everyone Stannis was the one. You had him believe in it, all of them fooled, and you lied.
I didn't lie. I was wrong.
Aye. You were wrong. How many died because you were wrong?
We have no reason to believe she's lying because she really hasn't lied at all throughout the show. She doesn't seem to have a hidden agenda either. She seems to be putting her faith in the Lord of Light ahead of her own self-interests. And even though she does misinterpret the signs sometimes, it seems like she is getting true visions, and pretty much everything she says will happen. An example of this is when she said she saw the Bolton banners falling to the ground, which did happen, it just wasn't Stannis who caused it. Another example of this is when she showed Stannis a vision of a great battle in the snow.
I saw a vision in the flames. Great battle in the snow. I saw it.
This battle could have either been the one he lost or the one he won. He absolutely destroyed the Wildling army. That did take place in the snow and he did win there. Or it could have been the battle for Winterfell when he died. Either way, a battle in the snow did happen and he did see the future in some way. So she definitely does have some power, and it seems like she will be able to help out in the Great War. So if Melisandre is going to have a big role in the war with the White Walkers, how will this play out, and how will she get back in the north without Jon banishing her or executing her? Going back to Melisandre's credibility, it seems like if she says something will happen, it will. That means she has to meet up with Arya at some point. Back in Season 3, Melisandre told Arya,
We will meet again.
So before we continue, we still have to note that Arya still wants to kill her. Melisandre has been on Arya's kill list since this moment for taking Gendry. Another thing that's going on right now is the Brotherhood is going north. This happens at the same time Melisandre is going south, and this also happens at the same time Arya might want to go home. We also have to remember that Arya wants to kill Thoros of Myr and Beric Dondarrion for betraying Gendry. So the story could go something like this. Mel could be traveling south and meets up with Thoros of Myr in the Brotherhood. Melisandre tells Thoros what happened, and Thoros convinces her to go north again. But he also convinces her to take off the glamour, so she would be an old lady in appearance. Jon doesn't know her this way, but that would be a good payoff to the whole Melisandre's 400 years old thing. George probably wouldn't have made her 400 years old if it wasn't going to pay off in any other way than just revealing it just to reveal it. So then at some point soon after that, Arya catches up with them and kills Thoros and Beric. The Hound is traveling with the Brotherhood, but she probably wouldn't kill him. Her time in Braavos probably made her realize that she does not hate the Hound. That was something that came up in Season 5. So this would be how Arya and Melisandre meet up again. But Arya wouldn't know Melisandre. Melisandre would remember Arya, but Arya doesn't know her as an old woman. Arya could think that Melisandre was just traveling under the Brotherhood's protection for some reason, and offer her to go north with herself and the Hound. So this would mean Arya and Melisandre meet up, and this would also mean that Melisandre would be in the north for the Great War. At this point, Daenerys could be in the north as well. If she has a battle with Euron, she's gonna need support from another army. Jon might offer her the northern army as long as she fights in the war against the White Walkers. Daenerys' dragons would probably survive the battle with Euron, and that's where the fire would come from that Melisandre could use to burn all the whites. It also seems like Melisandre needs to burn someone with king's blood for her magic to work. There is a really big misconception amongst the fans of what king's blood actually is. It's really not the blood of a king. It is Targaryen blood. Targaryen blood is said to be magic. Robert, Stannis, and Renly all had Targaryen blood. Their grandmother was a Targaryen. This is why Melisandre's magic worked when she used the leeches on Gendry and when she burned Shireen. Shireen's death might have helped revive Jon in some way. The snow also melted after Shireen died, and I'm pretty sure that's what Stannis was aiming for, so it seems that Shireen's death did do something. My point in all this is that George says there's going to be a bittersweet ending. What if Jon or Daenerys is the sacrifice to win the war against the White Walkers, since they both are Targaryens and have Targaryen blood? I personally don't think that Jon would end up dying here, unless the Night King killed him or something. And I don't really think that's going to happen either. If something like this does go down, I think Daenerys will be the sacrifice. Now, before you comment saying that's impossible, Daenerys is fireproof, she probably isn't. In the books, she does get burned. And in the show, the only times she hasn't been burned is when she is doing something really important and really magical. We actually haven't seen her interact with fire when she's not doing something of vital importance. So she probably could die by fire here. Before you say, well, she got in the hot bath and wasn't burned, George did say Targaryens have a higher tolerance to heat, they just aren't fireproof. Jon would then take the dragons that survive and take the Iron Throne from Cersei. Another reason why something bittersweet will probably happen in the war with the White Walkers is that if Daenerys' dragons end up killing all the whites by themselves, and then the White Walkers are pretty much the only ones left, and they're basically fighting with whatever Valyrian steel is found in the future, the White Walkers would probably end up losing, and it wouldn't really be that shocking or cool in any way. With the title of the book series being A Song of Ice and Fire, anyone could easily predict that, and that's not what George is about in his writing. George really likes the unpredictability factor of his books, so I doubt it'll be as simple as the dragons winning the war, basically. And it would make sense for Melisandre to have even a bigger role than just bringing Jon back to life. She was obviously not killed off at the end of Season 6 because she will have a big role in the future. A lot of her character is still a mystery, and we will probably see more of it and more development from her in the seasons to come. And with only 2 seasons left, it is highly unlikely that they will introduce something totally new to finish out the story and finish out the war. I do think the White Walkers will lose the war, but I really think something bigger is going to come out of it. Not an opposing force, but a really major death, or something that really shifts the ending in a completely opposite direction. George also said there will be a twist at the end that no one sees coming. Something will most likely happen in this war, and the impact of that will have an effect on the ending, and that will be the twist. This mystery event could be Daenerys or Jon dying as a sacrifice by Melisandre, or it could be something completely different based on how far south the war goes. If the wall comes down, maybe the White Walkers do end up destroying the Seven Kingdoms, destroying King's Landing, and there is no Iron Throne at the end, but that is something that is very commonly talked about and isn't the twist George is talking about. So it would be something that comes after that is completely shocking to everybody. George is probably keeping this really secret and not putting any hints towards it in the books because he does want a huge twist with no foreshadowing. So the only real speculation we have on this is completely random guesses. One of these guesses could be that the Seven Kingdoms go into democracy after all this. It's obviously a joke, but we literally have no idea. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think Melisandre will do. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like on this video and subscribe for more Game of Thrones related videos. I plan on uploading more often than I am now, maybe 3 or 4 times a week instead of 2. With that being said, I try making videos that aren't covered already by other YouTubers, so it's kind of harder to find interesting topics that aren't already talked about. That also makes my videos more controversial, and it really gets people thinking more about the series and what could happen, rather than just looking at the straightforward mainstream opinions. There's a playlist with all my Game of Thrones theories in the description below. Feel free to check that out and let me know what you think about my other videos as well.